Hi, and welcome to Creative AI. I am PixelPia. Most of us write how we are taught to write. Clear, polite, structured, but not necessarily like ourselves. When I first started developing the Voicecraft method, I was focused on shaping AI voices with distinct personality that I could reuse, remix, and rely on. What I didn't expect was that the same method could help me get closer to my own genuine writing voice. Since English is my second language, this felt extra important to me. So today is a little different video. I want to show you how you can use the Voicecraft method not to create a character or an AI tool, but to write more like yourself on purpose. We all have a default voice, a blend of habits, tone, and structure that slips in when we're not thinking about it. For some of us, it's formal and tidy. For others, it's chatty and clipped. Sometimes it's a voice we learned in school or on social media. Sometimes it's just a survival mechanism. Today, I'm not walking through all 7 steps of Voicecraft. Just a few of them, enough to show how this method can help you start shaping your own voice with intention. And remember, most of us don't have just one writing voice. We speak differently with colleagues, friends, family, and even ourselves. And the same goes for writing. Context matters. Voicecraft can help you define and navigate those shifts with clarity instead of confusion. Voicecraft starts with one question. What do you want your voice to feel like? Not what you want to say, not what it should sound like, but what energy you want it to carry across. The first step in the Voicecraft method, that's your essence. And yes, you can apply that to yourself. In fact, I think you should. For me, that essence often comes down to thoughtful curiosity, gentle but clear-eyed. I want my writing to feel like a quiet conversation that leaves you thinking a little different by the end of it. If you are writing a blog, a book, a journal, a newsletter, your tone doesn't have to drift or be diluted. You can define it. Your tone is step 2. And it is how the essence gets expressed. Are you bold, gentle, wry, encouraging, dry? All of these are valid, but they aren't neutral. So picking one is part of the craft. For me, the tone is usually warmer, reflective, with a hint of quiet resolve. I don't aim to inspire loudly in my writing. I aim to make space, to invite, make room for reflection without rushing it. Then we have rhythm. This one is subtle. It's not just about sentence length. It's about your relationship to breath, pause, and flow. Do you pile on clauses? Do you drop one-liners? Or maybe you loop back or just cut clean. When you start to notice these things in your own writing, your voice stops being a fog and becomes a shape. For me, the rhythm tends to move in waves. Short reflections followed by longer stretches of thought. I like giving an idea room to breathe, even if they build slowly. Another important part of Voicecraft is to set constraints. What you don't allow in your writing. Maybe no exclamations, no filler metaphors, no performative self-doubt. And that's part of your shape too. For me, I try to avoid anything that feels like performance, overexcitement, forced cleverness, or false urgency. I try to leave space for thought instead of noise. I hope that my writing doesn't shout, it invites. But here is the truth. You don't have to keep guessing what your voice is. You can shape it, test it, refine it on purpose. You can use the Voicecraft workbook to walk you through each of the steps with examples, just the way you would for an AI voice or a fictional character. Except this time, the voice is your own. If you are ready to write like yourself, more clearly, more intentionally, start with just one step. Pick your essence. Write it down. How do you want your writing to feel? Then write whatever it is you're writing, a first paragraph of a blog post or a newsletter, and then look at your essence and ask yourself, does this paragraph feel like that? That's it. That's the beginning of crafting your own writing voice. And if you want to go deeper, you can buy my ebook and workbook on PixelPia.gumroad.com. It includes all the 7 steps of Voicecraft, worksheets, the ebook where I describe in detail more about the process of coming up with this method and how to use it, and some bonus tools to help you shape voices, your own or fiction. If you are just curious and not ready to commit to buying yet, you can still explore more at my website voicecraft.pixelpia.com. In my next video, I will be exploring what is it that makes a voice believable, how rhythm, perspective, and emotional realism come together to create a voice your readers will trust. And I hope to see you back here for that video. Until next time, as always, stay curious. Bye.